SeaWorld announced it would end its controversial orca breeding program last spring after years of criticism. Excuse me. It also began phasing out theatrical killer whale shows.
But after the theme park's parent company closed 2016 with a net loss of $12.5 million, SeaWorld is seeking to rebound. It's introducing new rides, educational programs, and innovations like virtual reality technology. SeaWorld wants to change its public perception as an animal entertainment company to get people back into its parks. Joel Manby is president, CEO, and director of SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. Welcome back.
Thank you, Anthony. Good to be here.
You want to change SeaWorld from an animal entertainment company into an experiences that matter company,
Yes.
you say. What does that mean?
Well, as you know, we've been known for a long time as animal entertainment company. What we want to do is be known for a company where families can have a lot of fun, but also do something meaningful at the same time. Millennials especially, they want to have an experience that matters. And so we want to show them how they can make a difference. So when they come to our parks, they will have a unique opportunity not only to have fun, but to do things that make a difference for the oceans and all that's in it.
Like what?
Well, for instance, this year, we are announcing a brand new ride in San Antonio called the Wave Breaker. And instead of just going on a ride, you get a chance to basically go on a rescue experience, a jet ski. And as a customer, you can be a hero and learn about what SeaWorld does to rescue animals. We're the largest rescue organization in the world, but very few people know that. And so it's a way to combine our purpose with having a lot of fun. We also, on our thrill ride in Florida called Mako, we partnered with the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, and when a guest goes to the queue line, they learn about sharks and what the plight of sharks in the wild. You know, there's something called shark finning. 75 million sharks are killed a year.
Joel,
So
when we're
help
talking
stop that.
And when we're talking about animal welfare, you know, the spotlight has been on SeaWorld, of course, for orca breeding. In last year on our show, you announced that you would end orca breeding in captivity, but you're keeping the killer whales that you currently have.
Yes.
Why not just release them into sea sanctuaries?
Well, first of all, we did make that announcement, and as, on top of ending orca breeding, we're also transitioning our shows, our entertainment shows, to a more educational, inspirational experience. However, those animals will be with us for decades. They've grown up at SeaWorld. They've been at SeaWorld their whole life. They've never been in the wild. So we just don't believe taking them from a captive environment where they have been their entire lives, putting them into a riskier situation is a smart move. And it could be a death sentence for the animal, and it's certainly not a risk that we're willing to take.
Is this simply a business decision? You found out you needed to have a more attractive group of things to offer people who would come.
In the end of the day, we've always been a rescue organization. We've always been, our company and our employees, they love animals. And Charlie, that's one of the reasons we partnered with the Humane Society of the United States last year. Wayne was with me, the CEO of the Humane Society. We were former adversaries. What we realized in meeting together is we both love animals, we both want to help animals, and by working together we could solve these issues. There's no doubt, Charlie, that the society's changing, and we need to change with it. We've made some difficult decisions, but I think the model of the future is companies, for-profit companies, who can spend their resources to make the world a better place. The millennials want it, we want it as human beings.
Are you looking at other animals that are in the park, like beluga whales, dolphins, sea lions? They're also part of shows. What's the future for them in the long term?
It's a great question, Alex. We are going to learn from this orca encounter. It's very educational, it's more documentary style. It will be inspiring, but also educational. We would plan to learn from that and then transition other shows as well over time. You know, we're a very large organization. This is like turning battleships, and we have to do it a little bit at a time. But all the new attractions I talked about, not to mention, we talked about some rides, but we're also using virtual reality more in our rides and attractions.
You have one orca who is pregnant right now. And
yes, we do.
Due in about a month, I guess?
A couple weeks, actually.
Really, that soon?
When we made the announcement, Anthony, a year ago, that whale was pregnant. They have a longer pregnancy period than humans. So
4 whales.
Yes, 4 whales.
Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
So I might do a virtual video like the giraffe.
That baby will be the last orca raised.
Yes, that will be the last orca born at SeaWorld.
Was there any thought to trying to release her, or because the mother was raised, you couldn't do that?
No, we try to
captivity?
keep the families together. Her mother, Katara, was born at SeaWorld, and so again, that just doesn't make good sense for that animal to be alone.
Joel, we know that attendance and revenue has been down.
Yes.
What's the financial outlook for 2017 right now?
Well, we are very excited about 17. We have the biggest lineup we've ever had in the history of the company. I know, the research says, we know from talking to customers our direction's the right direction, so we just need to focus on executing our brand transition. You know, last year's numbers, a lot of that was Brazil and some macroeconomic issues that really were beyond our control.
You sound optimistic.
I'm very optimistic. I think this is the wave of the future for companies in general.
Well, that's a good trend if that, in fact, is true.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Joel Manby, SeaWorld
right.
President and CEO, thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Joel.
Alex. Thanks for having me.